Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Today we'll be inviting you to join an education revolution. Also, when last have you done a checkup? What about a pap smear, ladies? You'll learn more about that and its link with cervical cancer. Stay tuned.
The JIS Heritage Competition is back. Enter your essay, poster, or photo and win big prizes. If you're aged 9 to 12 years, enter the essay competition and tell us who is your favorite Jamaican sportsman or sportswoman and why. High school students, enter the poster competition. This year's theme is Jamaica's Rich Sporting Heritage. If you're a tertiary level student, enter the photo competition. This year's theme is I Am a Sports Champion. Competition closes for all 3 categories on November 6. Get started now. For information on submission and competition guidelines, visit our website at jis.gov.jm. Call 926-359-024, extension 2137, or send an email. Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, October 19. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says stakeholders are close to signing off on all the paperwork and permits for an investment to significantly add to Trelawney's room stock.
Yesterday, I negotiated 750 new rooms for Trelawney.
Minister Bartlett was speaking at this Sunday's Western reception for the 2016 Rio Olympic and Paralympic athletes held at the Melia Braco Resort in Trelawney. He told the reception that this year's winter tourist season was on pace to be the best on record.
2,300 new rooms are coming on board for this winter. And already, US and the UK and Canada and all our markets are pacing ahead by over 5% of last year.
Government will be spending $30 million on a 3-year program to furnish schools with stretchers and other medical equipment as part of emergency plans at the institutions. Education Minister Senator Roel Reid says the Health and Safety Initiative will begin this financial year.
The government is committing for the next 3 years $10 million per year towards safety devices for supporting program in Jamaica in collaboration with
Minister Reid says the details of the program will be worked out with school principals and representatives of the Inter-Secondary Schools Sports Association. He was addressing a presentation ceremony at Jampro on Friday. At that function, Team Jamaica Bickle presented 15 automated external defibrillators, AEDs, to schools across the island. The AEDs are portable electronic devices that diagnose life-threatening cardiac issues and are designed to be used by laypersons. Receiving schools were trained to use the machines by experts attached to the diaspora healthcare sector. Team Bickle has also partnered with the Jamaica Association of Emergency Medical Technicians based at the University of the West Indies to provide ongoing training and support to the recipient schools. The Southern Regional Health Authority has boosted its ambulance fleets in Clarendon and Manchester by converting 2 2017 Toyota Hiace buses to serve the purpose. Regional Director at the Health Authority Michael Bent says $14.4 million was spent on purchasing and converting the buses into ambulances, resulting in about $7.6 million in savings.
And in addition, we have shortened the delivery time from 6 months to 2 months.
He says the international specifications required for ambulances were not compromised in the process, and no procurement guidelines were breached. Pointing out that the project was funded with fees collected through patients' health insurance cards, the regional director says that method of payment should be viewed as a way to assist public healthcare facilities achieve their development goals.
We are not asking users to give us cash because there's no user fee. I'm imploring you to give your health cards, because once we have these fees, we can do much more.
One of the new ambulances was assigned to the Lionel Town Hospital in Clarendon and the other to the Mandeville Regional Hospital. The Southern Regional Health Authority is responsible for all the healthcare facilities within Manchester, Clarendon and St. Elizabeth. Still on health, the Maypen Hospital is in a position to offer better treatment to heart attack and stroke patients following the recent receipt of a cardiac monitor. The equipment, valued at over $700,000, was donated by the Jamaican Canadian Association of Nurses, JCAN.
We here at Maypen were committed to providing the best possible care for our patients. And with the help of JCAN, our ability to meet this commitment has been greatly increased.
It will be placed in the recovery room of the hospital's high dependency unit to enable the effective management of heart attack and stroke patients post-operatively. And finally, government's call for Jamaicans to support the Help Haiti initiative in the wake of Hurricane Matthew is being heeded by at least one state agency and its private sector partners. Staff of JAMPRO recently collected relief supplies which have been taken to Food for the Poor for shipment to Haiti. The initiative, which was supported by exporters who do business with JAMPRO, included donations of syrups, juices, canned peas, pasta, bleach, and soaps. Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Senator Ruel Ridu, was on hand to assist with loading the items, encouraged more Jamaicans to support the Haiti relief effort. Jamaicans wishing to assist Haiti can do so in cash or kind. Cash donations may be deposited to NCB Kingston account 212-387-304. Donations of bottled water, tarpaulins, canned food and other supplies should be dropped off at the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management on Haining Road in Kingston. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Life is all about making decisions, choosing from a number of options to do a particular thing, which may result in a specific outcome.
It can be difficult, but there are 4 things you can do to help make that decision.
Stop. Check out what's happening and remind yourself to think before acting.
Think. Make sure you're aware of the choices, all the advantages and disadvantages. Then think about the consequences.
Act. Choose the best option and do something about it.
Review. Finally, review what you have done and determine if it was good or bad. That way, you'll be in a better position to make the next decision, whether big or simple.
The JN Foundation is leading a revolution in education with their recently held JN School Leadership Summit. They brought together transformative educators and motivational speakers to inspire change in our education system. Listen up.
Do you know what it means to have a revolution?
The revolution will make the impossible possible, will shape dreams through teamwork. This revolution will innovate, impact, lead. The revolution, however, will not be televised. This revolution is being spearheaded by the Jamaica National Building Society Foundation through the iLead School Leadership Project. The project seeks to create a transformation in the education process, whereby schools and communities are inspired to reshape and redefine each child's learning experience. The summit, held in July 2016, brought together those who have made the commitment to be change makers.
Our children cannot wait any longer. Our research clearly tells us that great schools are those which have great leadership. And at this point in our education system, we need leaders who are bold, who are not afraid of doing what is uncomfortable, and who are not afraid to innovate.
The school leadership has that responsibility to implement and to seek out new techniques to encourage learning in the schools and learning within the settings of the schools. Because it's not okay to say that all students and all schools will perform the same way. And part of the experience that we have had is the development of this creative mind in education.
The Prime Minister reiterated the government's commitment to creating a world-leading education system.
Programs like the iLead project will help to ensure that we get maximum value for the money that we're spending. Because at the end of the day, above everything else that the government can do, education will only maximize the true benefit to the society when we have good institutional leaders at the school level.
Change is the expected outcome, but to get there, the change makers were encouraged never to waver from their mission.
They need to know that there will be resistance, but that persistence overcomes resistance. That's what a revolution excites inside of us, is that it forces us to become persistent. It forces us to say that we are strong enough and to believe that we can fight the battles.
While leaders create the environment for change, they also need to challenge their students to maximize the possibilities in all opportunities.
As leaders in our schools, we must make sure that our children are experiencing two things every day: rigor and joy. That those children are being challenged at the highest levels, but they love it so much that they look forward to coming to school every day. That our mission here in Jamaica and around the world has to be to build schools that our children, that our parents, that our teachers are fighting to get into every day instead of fighting to get out of.
The revolution starts when we recognize the need for change, while simultaneously cultivating the attitude to drive and accept the change.
You cannot take an individual or an institution to a point to which you have never been. To put that in a sociological context, the spirit of the leader is often the spirit of the institution.
It's a question of commitment. We need to be so committed and so involved that we can't help. We bleed it. It oozes out of our every pores. We want and we desire and we need improvement so badly we can't help it. It hurts. We need to be in that place.
And to get to that place, it is imperative that the change makers keep the big picture in mind.
That's why it's so important that we reach them with those high expectations and that rigor and challenge them early so they can see that they have 100% potential. They will rise to our level of expectations. That's why we have to have high expectations for our teachers.
Will come your way, but the hotter the battle you see.
The truth of the matter is, folks, is that there is an innate, deep, almost inexpressible yearning within each one of us to find our voice in life. It is in this place that we are able to dream big dreams and turn up the volume on your dreams. You cannot over-communicate the vision. Every opportunity you get, every staff meeting you have, every devotion you have, go back to that big vision of what this place can become.
The change makers were reminded that the opportunity to weave magic was in their hands, and the creative outcome might not necessarily come from a wand.
You can get it if you really want. You can get it.
Well, next up's the second law of situation and summation force equals mass times acceleration. That's the second law, Newton foresaw. If you want more, then the third law is in store. You have to hold within yourself the ideals and vision of what it is you want to accomplish, and be willing and comfortable with saying the path to getting there might not be the conventional path. And then we have the idea of revolutionary practice means shifting things against the current authorities. Now, who is the penultimate authority in your school? You. You're the principal. Therefore, to truly do revolutionary work, what do you have to do? You're going to have to revolt against the current authorities. That means you're going to have to revolt against yourself. We are looking at revolutionary like it's an outside action. To truly do revolutionary practice in your schools, you have to do the work of reprogramming yourself.
You can be a voice in the revolution. You can join the change makers by making a commitment to stand in the gap for all children and help support their dreams until they can stand alone. You can help them create that thing that will make this world awesome. Join the revolution at a school near you.
See here, sir, when I call your name, roll call, Wholeness. Yes, sir. Jarrett. Yes, sir. Reed. Yes, sir. Rattray. Yes, sir. Phillips. Yes, sir. Brown. Yes, sir. Are you in the revolution race? Are you in the revolution race? Join in the revolution. Join in the revolution. With JN Foundation. Join in the revolution. With JN Foundation. Here we go. Revolution, 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 revolution. Right now.
Do you know what it means to have a revolution? And what it takes to make...
We have championed e-learning in Jamaica, provided state-of-the-art technology in over 200 educational institutions, developed materials for CSEC, piloted the Tablets in Schools project in 38 schools, including infant and primary, and trained thousands of teachers in technology integration. We are e-Learning Jamaica Company Limited, ELJAM, an agency of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. Visit our website, www.elearnja.org.
How much do you know about cervical cancer? Do you know that a simple, inexpensive procedure can help in the fight against this type of cancer? Find out more in this next feature.
It's an awful multiplication of cells out of the normal that take over your system rather than the normal cells. That's what it is.
According to the Ministry of Health, in 2010, 3,198 persons died of cancer, accounting for 24% of all deaths in Jamaica. The common types found in women are cancers of the breast, cervix, and colon. On the other hand, cancer of the prostate, lung, and stomach are more common in men. The good news is doctors say that these illnesses are largely avoidable. And the doctors say prevention and early detection are our best defenses, even while the level of treatment and care is improving. In addition to promoting healthier lifestyle, government and its private sector partners are revolutionizing the gamut of care, with 2 linear accelerator machines purchased to provide timely and efficient access to cancer care treatment. Our most vulnerable patients are targeted to have access at no cost at centers of excellence being established at the St. Joseph's Hospital and the Cornwall Regional Hospital.
Changes in standard of living, introduction of screening methods, and public health education and promotion have impacted the distribution of cancer seen in Jamaica over the years. This trend is expected to continue, at least in the short term, as public health education increases and screening becomes more widespread.
In the case of cervical cancer, caused by a viral infection from the human papillomavirus HPV, the pap smear is considered the best screening method to date.
And the reason for this is that a screening method should be able to find a disease before it has become established, find it in the precancerous phase, be easily accessible, not very invasive, inexpensive, and universally available. The pap smear satisfies all of that sort of criteria.
The pap smear is not an actual test for cancer, but rather a test to detect the presence of any abnormal cells with the potential to develop into cancer. The result from this painless process is used to inform decisions about what treatment to apply to prevent cancer from developing.
A sample of cell is taken, sometimes even with a little brush, so there's no scraping and clipping and all of that like what the perception is out in the street.
Squamous cells, which are cells lining outer layers in areas such as the lung, hand, middle, mouth, vagina, and cervix are usually affected by the human papillomavirus. The virus gets to the cervix during intercourse and has the ability to transform the normal cells into precancerous ones.
You hardly ever get cervical cancer in women who have never had sex. From the getting the virus to getting cervical cancer can take 15 years or more.
The recommendation is for annual screening to detect, monitor, and treat with any incidents or progression that might be taking place.
The next reason for annual checks is that there is no test that is 100%. You know, all tests have false positive and false negative. You could do a smear and it is normal, but something is there. But if you keep doing it, it will pick up something.
Abnormal smears can be treated in the precancerous stage by methods that include freezing, cauterization using electricity, and what is called the loop. That is, removing the bad area and having what is called a cone to abort the process. Where cancer has developed, treatment will involve radiotherapy and chemotherapy and possibly major surgery. In an aggressive move to reduce local cervical cancer cases, the government of Jamaica has taken a decision to introduce human papillomavirus HPV vaccines to protect against high-risk strains of this family of viruses. HPV vaccines are recommended for preteen girls and boys ages 11 to 12, providing immune protection from the virus before exposure.
We have two types. We have one that they call bivalent. It vaccinates against two types of HPV, 16 and 18, because HPV are numbered. And there is one that is quadrivalent that vaccinates against 6, 11, 16, and 18. 6 and 11 vaccinate against genital warts, while 16 and 18 vaccinate against 70% of cervical cancer.
There is a new vaccine yet to be introduced that vaccinates against 9 types of HPVs. This has the potential to prevent up to 90% of cervical cancers.
We are going to do better when we have the cervical cancer HPV vaccines.
Take the necessary actions to stay healthy. Get screened yearly, eat well, exercise, and get vaccinated. Know your numbers and control the keys to a healthier heart. Know the numbers for your blood pressure, cholesterol level, blood glucose level, and your weight and body mass index. Give yourself a fighting chance. Find out the risks they represent and what you need to do to stay healthy. Talk to your doctor and start making healthy lifestyle choices to prevent a heart attack or stroke.
How can you naturally control your weight, improve your mood, increase your energy, and prevent diseases? By exercising, of course. If you need more reasons to get up and move, check this out.
It keeps you young, make you look good in your clothes, make you attractive to opposite sex.
It's only a matter of fitness and health. Keep me vigorous and keep my youth.
It's the healthy way. I want to say slim.
It is true that many of us know that exercise is good for us, but we avoid it. Why? Because we are afraid that exercise has to be vigorous before it can be effective. But physical trainers say this is not true. Every little bit counts. It all adds up to burning more calories. We may not be ready for a structured program like going to the gym, but we can start small.
The first thing that exercises help us to do is to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And the first thing that we want when we exercise is to live long. And so the longevity of life is in fact guaranteed for persons who live a healthy lifestyle by form of exercise.
Medical experts say if we are not engaging in enough physical activities, we are at major risk for developing coronary artery disease. It can also contribute to other risk factors like obesity, high blood pressure, and diabetes. However, physical trainers say before we start a vigorous exercise program, there are a few things we must do.
You need to consult your physician first, get an okay from them, and then you proceed with your exercise. And we would advise you not to start vigorously. Start exercising at slow paces, gradually getting into the vigorous aspect of your exercise.
According to physical trainers, we must do any moderate to vigorous aerobic activity for a minimum of 30 minutes, at least 3 to 4 times per week. This is to reduce or eliminate some of the risks associated with a lack of physical activity as part of our regular routine.
Here we go.
Moderate physical activity may include brisk walking, gardening, raking leaves, sweeping the floor, pacing while you talk. When you're on the phone, pace around. This is a great way to stay moving while doing something you enjoy. Getting up each hour to stretch or walk the stairs at work, and dancing can also make a difference.
You don't have to go to a gym to exercise. And exercise is usually a routine that you consistently do, whether it's at home or at school, that you benefit from, the heart and the lungs and the other aspects of your body benefit from.
9, 10, hold them up now.
Stretching and aerobics are some of the exercises that we can do at home to help us keep fit and maintain a healthy lifestyle. Aerobic exercises strengthen your heart and burn calories. According to physical trainers, stretching exercises are essential for keeping our muscles flexible and our joints strong. You can stretch the body every day.
Look in front, hold it there, 5, relax the hand, 4, 3, 2 more, 2, 1.
We can all do exercise. I would probably only limit to the persons who are paralyzed from probably waist down. But even the persons who are paralyzed from waist down, their arms are able to do something. So you can do something with the hands.
Physical trainers say if you experience any of the following symptoms during exercise, you must stop and rest. Dizziness or lightheadedness, abnormal heart rhythm, pain in the chest, under the breastbone, and or down the arm, pain in the knees, feet, or ankles. After, stop and rest. If the symptoms persist, you must call your doctor.
I feel stronger, flexible.
I feel so refreshed and like I can take on a day.
And I think it has helped to make me look youthful. So exercise is great.
It firms up your muscles and it gives you more energy.
We can all improve our health and well-being and have fun by including moderate amounts of physical activity in our daily lives. Remember, if fitness is the goal, exercise is the way to get there. Be health-wise.
Very good.
We've come to the end of our show. You may watch this and other editions of the magazine on our YouTube channel. You can also download the JIS app at the Google Play Store. Keep up with us on social media. Visit our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. I'm Adrian. On behalf of the entire production team, do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.